Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia on 420. It's gonna be a whole lot of chiefing going on. You either gonna be smoking on the Haney pack or you gonna be smoking on that Garcia pack, but it's gonna be star-studded. We already got fans claiming that the pay-per-view is gonna flop, and we even got fans claiming that this should not even be on pay-per-view. Let's talk about that in my video, but before we do that, make sure you hit my like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subbed to the channel. Yeah, it's finally going down, y'all. Haney versus Garcia, and this is a fight that's been building up for years. We've seen Devin Haney back in the day run up on Garcia, get in his face and call him out, and Ryan said, "I'm going to save you for later." You feel me? The time ain't right now. I'm going to fight you, Devin Haney, but I will save you for later. We all looked at that as a duck. You know, it looked like that Ryan was ducking Haney for years, but we know how boxing is, you know. These fights need to build. These fighters need to get to a certain point in their career to where they can make the most money. We seen Floyd do it with Manny Pacquiao, but of course, that played out way too long. We seen Errol Spence and Terrence Bud Crawford do the same thing, but that played out way too long. But if you ask me, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, they doing it just at the perfect time, the right time. Both fighters are still very young, and both fighters are in their prime, or at least near their prime. So if you ask me how I feel about the fight, I'm looking at the fight as being the best fighting the best at their best. Ain't no rehydration clauses, ain't no catch weights, none of that. So I'm feeling the fight. I love the fight. This is a fight that I've been wanting to see. But a lot of fans today in boxing, they're different. You know, I'm going to just keep it real with y'all. A lot of y'all fans are very, very different. Y'all focus on pay-per-view numbers. Y'all focus on ticket sales. And you focus on everything but the product that's in the ring. And ever since this fight with Ryan and Devin got announced, I've been hearing a whole lot of negativity. You know, people praying for this fight to fail and flop. And I'm looking at the whole situation like the fan base today in boxing, they don't realize that they're part of the reason what's killing boxing. Because I'm already hearing fans say that the fight is going to flop. It's not going to do half of the pay-per-views that Ryan and Tank did. Ryan needs Gervonta Davis to be a star, to sell pay-per-views. That this fight is going to prove that Devin Haney is not a pay-per-view star no matter who he gets in the ring with. Unless, of course, it's Gervonta Davis. So it seems to me that it's a whole lot of deliberate hating going on. Because, yeah, I've been accused of hating on Bill and Devin a million times in the past. But nah, I'm not a hater. I'm just a fan of the sport of boxing. Now, once you get to lying and, you know, creating false narratives, I'm not going to rock with that. And I will be the first one to call that out. Now, am I a huge fan of Devin Haney and Bill Haney? No, I'm not a huge fan of them, but I don't have to be a huge fan of them outside of the ring. See, the difference between me and a real hater is that I enjoy watching all of these fighters inside of the ring. I'm a fan of all of these fighters once they step inside of that square circle. And I also understand just because a fighter can fight, it don't mean that your character ain't flawed. But when it comes down to, you know, if you're fighting the best in the ring and you putting on, you know, great performances and giving me and the rest of us as a fan something to watch and be excited for, I'm going to be the first one to always give you your props that you deserve for doing that. Because we don't have enough of that in boxing today. And lately, Devin Haney has been moving the needle. Devin Haney has been getting in there and giving the fans the best fights. Hands down. Yeah, he do a whole lot of talking and unnecessary shit on Twitter and on Instagram and on social media. They do a whole lot of lying. But at the end of the day, it's about the finished product. And the finished product is that Devin Haney is giving fans what they want inside of that square circle. Also, you got Ryan Garcia. He do a whole lot of the same ish. But Ryan Garcia has proven that all of the shit that he do on social media, it ain't all just talk, because Ryan is actually trying to put together the biggest and the most difficult fights. He did it when he got in there against Gervonta Davis, and he doing it again, getting in there against Devin Haney when everybody around him wanted him to go a different route. So I look at this fight as both fighters daring to be great. A lot of people looking at Ryan Garcia as a joke. And I continue to tell people that Ryan is a dangerous fighter. I said the same thing when Ryan and Gervonta Davis was announced. I said Ryan's a dangerous fighter. He ain't just an Instagram model and all that shit. And I was very excited when Ryan and Tank Davis got announced. But then the excitement went away from me when I heard about the catch weight at 136 and the rehydration clause. And yes, Ryan was dumb enough at that point in time to sign that contract when he should have never gotten in the ring, weight drained like he was, and putting himself at a disadvantage like he did. Now, yeah, Ryan, he's learned from that situation and you got to move on. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? People fuck up. You know what I'm saying? You mess up in life. But it's about how you bounce back and it's about how you learn from the situation. But listening to a lot of the fans, and I don't even know if I want to call y'all fans, it's just a lot of y'all are fans of a fighter. And listening to, the negativity that this fight is already getting ever since it just got announced, it's a whole lot of negativity and a whole lot of hating going on from a lot of y'all, right? When Devin and Ryan got into that altercation, heard a lot of people say, oh, this is corny. They're going overboard. This is just stupid. This is WWE life. And the thing is whether it was real or not, it don't matter, because they're doing what they're supposed to be doing to get casual fans hyped up to sell the fight. That's how you sell a fight. Why is it negativity surrounding that? Why is people already talking about, oh, I'm not buying it. This fight ain't going to do these numbers, and this fight would never do big numbers. And Ryan, he can't sell without Tank, and vice versa and all of that, man. It shouldn't be all of that. Y'all should be just glad that you're getting a great fight. The same way y'all was glad when they made Ryan and Tank. We don't know what this fight is going to do. I think it's going to do well. But what we have to understand is that you have a whole lot of fans that's fans of a fighter, and they don't like Ryan Garcia and they don't like Devin Haney. And when I say they don't like them on a personal level. And what we got to understand as fans is it should never be personal between the fighter and the fan. It's all entertainment to us. That's what it's about at the end of the day. If they giving us entertaining fights and they giving us the best fights, that's what we should only be worried about. Now, if they're not, well, yeah, you got a problem with that. You should have a problem with that, but it shouldn't be personal. So they're not going to pay for the pay-per-view just to make a point to be able to say, oh, I told you it wasn't going to do this amount of numbers. I told you Devin can't sell. I told you Ryan, he not a pay-per-view star without Tank. And they just going to do it just to prove a point, which is petty and childish. But that's the new age boxing fan, the casual fan, the fan of a fighter, and fans that are not fan of the sport of boxing just to support when you get good fights put on. And don't get it twisted. Trust me, the next time Gervonta Davis have a fight, you got a whole bunch of Devin Haney fanatics and fans of other fighters that don't like Gervonta Davis. They gonna do the same thing to his fight. No matter how good the fight is and who he fights, they gonna fire stick it just to prove a point. And also, don't get it twisted. If Tank get in there and he fights some bullshit opponent, oh, I'm gonna fire stick it. Just the same as any of these other fighters. If they not giving us the fights that we want to see, of course, fire stick it. Don't support that ish. But if it's the fights that we want to see and fights that we've been asking for, pay for the fight and support. Get off that petty shit. And so this petty shit that y'all new age fans is doing, it go both ways. And people don't understand y'all are part of the problem, because if they put on a huge fight like this and it flops, y'all can count your blessings. Because other big fights that y'all want to see is going to be few and far between, because they going to say, look, we put on this fight, and they flopped. These fans ain't paying for pay-per-views, so we not putting them on. These fans are not paying for the pay-per-views when we put on big fights. It ain't no money in it. If you're a boxing fan, be just that. Be a boxing fan. Support when they put on great fights. If you just a casual or you just like a certain fighter, say that and stop faking the funk. And once again, this is coming from somebody that'll tell you in a heartbeat that Devin and Bill be on a whole bunch of bullshit. This is coming from somebody that tell you in a heartbeat that Ryan Garcia, he be on BS. But I'm still going to support the fight because I'm a boxing fan at the end of the day. It ain't personal. Anyway, y'all let me know how y'all feel about this. How do y'all think the pay-per-view will do? Do y'all think it's going to flop, or do y'all think it's going to flourish? Put a comment in the comment section. Make sure you hit my like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subbed. And y'all already know how I do. Diego talking that boxing again, and I'm gone.
I slide, glide, choking on that lethal.
2 miles per hour.